Welcome to the channel for the first time viewers. Welcome back for my existing subscribers. It's crazy. So usually I try to recommend whenever people ask me, yo, what's the best graphics card I could get for my money? I always used to say the RTX 4090. Now I still feel like it's the best overall performance across the board, regardless of the scenario, the situation, the workload. But at this particular time and in today's market, I'm finding it harder and harder to recommend the RTX 4090. All comes down to price. So if I type in 4090, right, this is not the play. This is the scalped prices from yesteryear. These are a lot of third-party sellers, but even when you go to, let me see if Newegg. So seller is Newegg, right? And you apply the filter, you can only get these pre-builds. And even the PNY, which was like a 1549 card, is now 1949. Again, this is sold and shipped by Newegg. This was already an expensive card. This was like the top of the line ROG card. So I don't even remember what the MSRP on it was, but $31.99 is just not going to happen. And when you look at the performance, right, I'll try to find a clip on my PC, but you can get 400 FPS, you know, provided it's just like TDM or something simple, with both the 4090 and the 7900 XTX. So if you play Call of Duty, you got to take it with a grain of salt. I've been having a lot of weird issues with both brand cards, but $1,000, you get yourself a 7900 XTX. It's going to be the fastest card in most situations in Call of Duty. This is the one I have here. But even if you go to a different reseller, there's other options, right? And even if you were to get like 85-90% of the performance here at $800, the ASRock Phantom here is the XT model. So you still get the VRAM, and this is, if you can get this for like 720, 745, 750, anywhere like that, even at 800 full stop, it's still not a bad deal. But worth considering. Just a little bit of extra oomph. Make sure you have a CPU to match, right? And I think this is a solid deal. The 4080 is still inexpensive, and what happened was essentially what happened is China's import tax, or the tax that's being levied on that, is pretty much being passed on to us as far as the constraint and supply and demand, right? So now there's less places for it to go. There's more demand, and they're just going to increase the cost of the supply. So $11.99, as you can see, this is usually what you should be paying for a PNY model, right? It shouldn't be more than MSRP. There's also the Founders Edition. So if you go to like a Best Buy, I have never had luck at Best Buy buying a graphics card, right? Now let's just go in here. Let's see, we got RTX. This is still $16.99 though, but what I would why is it not typing? What I would recommend 4090 is go and sign up for a Discord, or I don't even know if those notification bots, maybe they'll make a comeback because of how this is all falling down. But here again, you've just got $12.99. It's coming up with 4080s instead of 4090s, but I did find one yesterday that was the old MSRP, so $16.99, which actually is a little bit higher. Actually, this used to be, I want to say $16.50, but it was never too far off. But it hasn't been scalped to the end of it, the end of infinity. So you still have 4070 Ti's as a decent option, right? So if you're looking for more of an NVIDIA card, maybe you want to do content creation, you want to do streaming, that'll probably be your best bet. And then those people that say, well, why would I buy a 4070 Ti when I can get a 7900 XT? If you're not opposed to open box or used, you could always go down and let's take a look down here on a Best Buy, and open box excellent 773 and 730. I've seen this as low as like 685, and it probably was missing something like the adapter or something like that. So always keep that in mind. But that's just your open boxes. You still have your regular return period. You know, I don't get any. Well, I actually can get credit for Best Buy referrals, but I really get credit for Amazon. So let's check out Amazon 4090. same thing, right? So you just have these crazy, insane prices. I don't know why there's so many toughs up here. These just crazy 4090 prices. So again, just a quick video. I want to talk to y'all. Usually, I always say go ahead, get a 4090, call it a day. You'll have comparable performance even when the rasterization is on point with AMD. Even it cost more, but at the time it was like $600-700 more, and there were situations where it really outshined. But right now, at $2,000+, yeah, no, it just doesn't make sense, right? Let me take a look and see if I could get that AMD folder. I'm gonna turn this into a regular video. I should have, maybe it's here. Nope, that's zombies. That's in the queue right now. Okay, so if you look up top here, you can see, oh, let me get the volume. You can see that, you know, I'm on the lowest settings, 1440p. I'm not using any upscaling, and it's right around that 400 FPS mark, right? So when you start moving, it dips down to like 350, 360, which is fine. So if you have a 1440p 360 hertz monitor, again, you'll be fine. And on the higher ends, you'll see that it's in that 400 and it taps into like the 410, 415 range. So it's never anything out of this world, but I think it's fair performance, right? And this is mildly overclocked, but again, $1,000 versus, let me see if I can find my 4090 content. Maybe I can. I probably can. Let's see. I have my folders nicely organized so I can find my shit easy. All right, and this is all with the XTX, and I'm using a drive that I was using with my, trying to think, with my 14900K. So this is my external drive that was hooked up to that. So same exact spot. Right, let's see here. Map was starting more or less right around the same FPS. Now the 1% lows and everything like that, I haven't reset the timer, so don't worry about that. But again, it's tapping into about, you know, same FPS, maybe 5 less. But again, biggest thing, because the other one, I know it was like right around the 400, but over time it dips down into like 360, 370s and kind of lives around that area and makes visits to 400. But again, main point is that with this card being almost $3,000 in some cases, I just can't recommend it anymore. So get yourself a 7900 XTX. If you just play Call of Duty, the 7800 XT is worth visiting. I've seen a lot of people with really underpowered CPUs but really strong GPUs in the comments and in, you know, my DMs. It's just one of those things that if you're building from scratch, make sure that you're getting the fastest CPU that you can. Put that in your budget. So rather than getting like, okay, I want to get a 4080 or I want to get an XTX, or even if you want to spend the money, get a 4090. But there's people that are like, okay, I'm going to get a 7600 or I'm going to get a 5800 X3D, which is actually pretty good. Or I'm going to get, like, at this point, you're building from the ground up. So you should be looking at, if it's for gaming, then 14700K, 7800 X3D, and 13900 or 14900K. Right, so those are the ones you should really be looking at if you're really trying to maximize your performance as far as gaming goes. Now, if you're looking for productivity, then you're really going to want to lean more towards the Intel side as far as the 14900K, 13900K, 14700K. And then on the AMD side, if you still want to do the games, which is kind of how I see myself, you want to look at the 7950X3D. The one chip that should be avoided at all costs is going to be the 7900 X3D. Trash. So yeah, that's all I have to say about that one. It's for some people. It's not for 99.999% of people. So there's that person that needs productivity, doesn't want to spend extra money. But at that point, I feel like if just get yourself a non-X3D and sacrifice more frames, get a better experience. You know what I mean? But anyways, just want to throw this out there. It's how I've been feeling. It's kind of crazy. And I know my buddy Screwface was trying to get a desktop. And the local shop said in Canada, the 4090 was $4,000. And I was like, yeah, that's just not going to happen in any kind of reality. Yeah. Even with like inflation, with everything going up in cost, it's just not going to happen. All right. So with that, I'm gonna cut out from here. I'll catch y'all on the flip. Be easy.